actually go and start writing down your process. Like, go and make some calls, go and, look to hire, look to get leads. Like, just do activity. But the more efficient, the more calculated your processes and your procedures are, the more you'll get done. The more you get done, opportunities, sales, money, etc. So be efficient, build these things out. Hey, how are you? Wanted to make a quick video on something I think is extremely important for building your agency. If you don't have this, you're gonna have a very hard time scaling. As you can see, this looks a little different than the usual video. We're in our new office. We've grown, we've expanded. The lighting is great. We actually finally have windows, so our happiness levels shall increase quite a bit. And it's due to because these processes and procedures that I built early on, and I think it's important. So please listen and apply accordingly to what fits best for you and your agency. I'm going to dive straight into it, just give you straight knowledge on some of the processes we use and how they could be used in your agency. So, efficiency. I'm big on efficiency. I studied technology operations management in college. So my whole thing is just about how do I get more stuff done. I talk about this often. Activity levels. How do you increase your activity levels? You could be running around doing a bunch of stuff all day and just spinning your wheels. Don't spin your wheels. Make sure that your activity is meaningful. And when it's meaningful, it tends to be tied to some process, some procedure, something that is, you can duplicate and more people can be plugged into. And that's how you get more activity levels increase. So I talk about activity levels, but get structured activity levels. Don't just start running around like crazy, because you could be spinning your wheels all day and think you did a bunch of stuff, but you really did a bunch of nothing. So don't do a bunch of nothing, guys. Try to make sure that your stuff is meaningful, So the more efficient you are, the more money you'll make. The more money you'll make, the more you can reinvest, the more freedom you have to do whatever the hell you want to do. And I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money. Do whatever you want. So some of the processes, procedures that we use as an independent agency, we work with a lot of different carriers. So we want to make sure that each carrier has its own process, its own procedure, and that we all understand, the team understands how to work with that one. And even if you're by yourself starting up from scratch, build this out, because one day you will hire somebody and they will need to know how to do that. And it can't just be all up in your head. It needs to be on a physical piece of paper. Type it out on Word, keep it in a Google Doc. That's my recommendation, because you can just keep adding and it'll always be saved. So general processes for carriers. Carrier A, B, C. This is how their payments go. This is how their claims go. This is how their cancellations, rewriting, signatures, etc. Make sure, because independents work with a lot of companies. Allstate Farmers, State Farm. It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward, because you have only one company. So you guys are a little luckier, but the grass is always greener on the other side. Independents have a lot more freedom. Captives kind of get stuck with a lot of stuff and can't even social media post like this. So the grass is always greener, so I'm not going to bash one way or the other. I like the independent route, but that's just me. So renewals, that's a big process. How do you reach out to people for renewals? How do you even process your renewals? What we do is we pull a report first and foremost for 30 days in advance. Right now we're in May, so we already have the list for June that we're looking and we're calling on 30 days in advance. So we do one automated email that goes out to people 60 days in advance. That 60-day one is kind of like, hey, just letting you know your renewal is coming up in 60 days. We'd love to sit down and schedule a time to talk with you and review everything, make sure your coverage is adequate, and you're good to go. And then 30 days out, we give more personalized, where my service manager will actually email, call, and talk to people. And then that's also a great time to review their coverage and say, hey, by the way, notice you don't have auto with the home. Let's get you a quote for auto and see if we can save you some money there too. And at these renewals, you can also make some big sales. So it's a great opportunity. Don't overlook this. Renewals are a big part of the game. Because I won't even get into it, but if you don't understand that renewals are a big part of this insurance game, then you need to do your homework. But sales process, very important. I probably should have even started with this one. Sales, how do you, from the moment the phone is answered, how do you process that call, and like, who is it? What kind of policy are they looking for? I'll use auto insurance as an example because it's the most standard. Before we used to just answer and we'd have a quote sheet and just start, okay, well, sir, what's your name? What's your whatever. Great. Get their name first, obviously, know who you're talking to. But in an auto insurance, the sales process should be laid out, scripted almost. People are calling for car insurance. So the first thing you want to say is, sir, what's the year, make, and model? Or ma'am, what's the year, make, and model of your car? Now she's bought in, okay? Because you could be cold calling too, and you want to just go straight into it. What's the year, make, and model of your car? Okay, now it's a 2013 Mazda. Great. Do you by any chance have the VIN number? Because you're going to need that eventually. Nope. Okay, that's totally fine. What's we'll keep it going. What's your date of birth? What's your address? Now they're kind of lead them through that line, the straight line method that Jordan Belfort talks about. Sales is very important. So I could go on and on and on about the sales process, but that's just know that these are very, very important. These are huge ones: carriers, renewals, sales. Another one that I think is important as you start to grow is the hiring process. How are you actually hiring employees? Are you screening them? Are you taking on resumes? Are you just kind of going with the flow? Like, we have we accept resumes first. From there, we send an email kind of like, hey, this isn't for everybody. This is a high intensity, high, rejection environment. And, kind of like to discourage them a little bit. We sift through those people that we know are not the right fit right off the bat. And then from there, we kind of take that second pool and we start to interview. We do the interviews, then we narrow down to 3 or 4 candidates, and then we pick somebody from there. Or not. Don't hire. Sometimes the best hire is no hire. Onboarding, like, how do you do your welcome emails? How do you send them a card after you do that? Evidence of insurance. Do you send them a review? Like, can you review us on Google? So we have a lot of this automated through Rocket Referrals. So shout out to Rocket Referrals. Guys, please sponsor me, Rocket Referrals, because I'm giving you guys free advertising here. There's a lot of companies that do this, by the way, so don't just stick with Rocket Referrals just because I use it. Check them all out. There are probably some that are cheaper. I think Rocket Referrals is kind of expensive. So do your homework on those. There's a lot of these companies that do similar stuff. Like I said, do your homework, make sure you check it all out. But we send them an evidence of insurance right away with a welcome email template that we use, obviously with your effective date, with the coverage, what kind of policy it is. Then we send them a welcome email. Welcome to the agency, blah, blah, blah. Here's our service team, contact us. They also get a welcome card in the mail. They also get a survey review to Google. First one goes through to just see how we did first on our performance, and if they give us like an 8 to 10, then they get a Google review. And this is all automated. I couldn't be doing this all day myself because we'd be going crazy. So automate as much as you possibly can too, but organically make it seem like it is you. Birthdays, stuff like that, client reviews, the list goes on. So my big thing here is, guys, this is the foundation to building up an agency. Like I said, we wouldn't be where we're at now if we didn't have some of these things in place. So, take a look. I even put on chriscostantini.com. I've put for sale some of the processes that I've built out. It took me 3 years to build them. And they're constantly being refined. So that is a resource if you really wanted to, go ahead and buy that. That's totally up to you. But hopefully that was helpful. If you need more, advice, guys, shoot me an email, shoot me a call. Like, literally, I will answer quick stuff. I'm also busy. I got a lot of stuff going on with trying to build up my agency. So I don't have all the free time to be talking on the phone for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour to people. If you want to schedule a consulting call, go for it. If you have a quick call, like 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 3-4 minutes, just shoot me an email. Just like, hey, 2 minute, 3 minute question. Like, give me a call. I'll call you, and I'll literally call you, and we'll talk, and I can answer your questions. And I'm genuinely happy to help, because this, like, for example, how did I figure this stuff out? People ask me, like, how did you learn all this, the processes and procedures? I talked to a ton of agents. I talked to a ton of agents when I was first starting up, and I said, what would you recommend? And I remember one guy, shout out to Chris Paradiso. If you're here, if you're somehow listening to this, shout out to you, because I remember I called you. You took the time to talk to me, and you said, just start building processes and procedures. And I was like, what the hell does that even mean? Because I didn't even get what a process or a procedure was. And he just said, like, start laying stuff out. And it was just, he didn't tell me what to do exactly, but the fact that he just told me, like, that is important. That's how I knew. I was like, okay, I need to do this. I need to figure out how to do this. I need to start asking people what their processes look like, et cetera, et cetera. So like I said, people gave me advice. They helped me quite a bit. They didn't do the work for me, but they told me what to do, and then I did it. So that's another point I wanted to make. Turn off this video right now and, like, actually go and start writing down your process. Like, go and make some calls. Go and, look to hire, look to get leads. Like, just activity. But the more efficient, the more calculated your processes and your procedures are, the more you'll get done. The more you get done, opportunities, sales, money, etc. So be efficient, build these things out, turn off the video, get to work, because that's it. That's how you get it done. There's no secret sauce. There's no secret course that you're going to buy. Guys, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Those courses are all nonsense. Like, yeah, you might learn something, but dude, the what you'll really learn, and keep watching, because, I am giving away a ton of free stuff. So these are little, like, insights, 10 minutes. Like, it is worth listening to for sure, because I learned all this and made a bunch of mistakes. But don't go buy these nonsense $2,000 method on how $2,000 course on this method on how you can increase your business from 50,000 to 1 million in book of business in your first year. It's all bullshit. There's definitely some tools that, like, you might learn something, but it's you have to work, dude. Like, you have to just get to work. There is no secret sauce. If there was, everybody would have already done it. You got to make the calls. You got to do the quotes. You got to close the deal. You got to, like, send the evidence. You got to retain the customers. And there's no magic to it. I'm giving away as much as I can, and like I said, I'll talk to you, and I'll try to keep you pointed in the right direction, because I do believe we're headed in the right direction. And I predicted this, and I'm gonna clip this too, because I remember probably 7 months ago, 6-7 months ago, we made a video, and I literally said, watch, in the next 6 months we will grow. We will be in a bigger agency, bigger office. This is our little office that we're kind of in the process of growing, and I guarantee here in the next 6 months we'll see, a bigger, larger office, bigger team, and that's the plan. Reinvest every single penny, and we'll see where we're headed and where we're going to be. We are now in a bigger office. We're a team of 4 still. We're looking to hire, so we're growing at a team of 5 now. I'm blessed to be in the position I'm in, because I'm reinvesting like crazy, and I'm young, and I have the support to do so. So by all means, like, go shoot for the stars and go big. Be prepared, because you don't really make big money until the 4th, 5th, 6th year, I believe. But that's all I got for you. Get to work. That's all I got. We'll see you guys at the top.